Heroes and the pedestals we put them on. That is the topic of tonight's byline. It's been a tough week for sports figures. Lance Armstrong spilled the beans to Oprah about his years of doping to win, and Manti Te'o admitted to having a fake girlfriend. The star Notre Dame linebacker and soon-to-be NFL player says he was the victim of a cruel hoax, but there's enough questions about whether he was involved in the hoax to cast doubt on that. Fallen sports athletes are not new. Pete Rose was a star of baseball when I was a kid. He was considered an all-around great guy. He was a hero to many, and I think I even had a glass with his face on it, one with Pete Rose, one of Gary Carter, if I remember correctly. They were both with the Expos back then. But of course, Pete Rose fell from grace when he was caught betting on baseball while he was still involved with the game, and Charlie Hustle's aura was tarnished. Since then, we can add Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, and plenty of others to the list of baseball names. I've never been one to idolize sports heroes. I've had players I like to watch, Rocky DiPietro and Bernie Ruoff of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Ryan Giggs at Manchester United, Ivan Lendl and Boris Becker, great tennis players of the 1980s. I watched them all play their game, excel in their sports, but I never really idolized them. Still, there's something of a sting when someone held up as a great player and, like Pete Rose, an all-around great guy, turns out to be less than you thought. That's what happened with Lance Armstrong and Manti Te'o. I'm disappointed in both of these men, but I'll tell you what, I'm not ready to condemn them forever as outcasts, as evil men that should be shunned by the rest of society. For a start, there's always the thought that there, but by the grace of God, go I. Every single one of us has our faults. Every one of us has made bad decisions. I won't condone cheating with performance-enhancing drugs or scamming people with a false story designed to generate sympathy. But neither Lance Armstrong nor Manti Te'o was completely defined by their mistakes. Lance Armstrong made some horrible decisions, but does that wipe out the millions of dollars he's raised for cancer research? No. We need to be careful about any idol worship, of putting all our trust in princes of sports, politics, or business. People that are, well, at the end of the day, they're still people, and they're fallible. But that doesn't mean we need to stop honoring those who excel in their chosen field. Call me old-fashioned, but I still hold successful people up as examples for my children, to let them know that with hard work, dedication, and a goal, you can achieve quite a bit in life. Just a little while ago, I was sitting around the table eating a bucket of KFC. I not only explained to the kids that KFC stands for Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I also told them the story of Colonel Sanders. He went from, well, having a little outlet at a gas station. He built a successful restaurant business out of nothing through hard work. He'd made his business a must-stop location for travelers along the local highway. Then the interstate came, and the traffic that used to stop by for a bite with the Colonel was driving right on by. Rather than just pack it in and take his retirement check, he was 65 at the time, he started a new business selling his secret recipe to other restaurants. That second business became KFC, made him millions of dollars, and it gave opportunity to small restaurant owners to become franchisees, to build their own success with the Colonel. Now, I started out talking about athletes, so I should end there as well. There's still athletes that we can hold up as examples to our kids, people like Tim Tebow. He shouldn't have been born, according to the doctors. He shouldn't have played college ball. He shouldn't be in the NFL. Think what you will about him. He defies the odds through hard work. You can think of Pat Tillman, who put duty to country above riches. The safety with the Arizona Cardinals turned down a $3.6 million contract to sign up with the Army in the aftermath of 9/11. He died in service of his country. And then closer to home, we have Pinball Clemens. Clemens was an amazing running-back for a team I don't like all that much, the Toronto Argonauts. After his playing days, he went on to be an accomplished coach, a team president, and more. Clemens never tires of giving back to his community, serving as a motivational speaker and helping disadvantaged youth. We've seen some heroes fall this week, but it's important to remember there are still plenty of good guys out there. And that's the byline.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
In all 7 of your Tour de France victories, did you ever take banned substances or blood dope?
Yes.
Fame just magnifies whoever you really are. So if you're a jerk, you're a bigger jerk. If you're humanitarian, you're a bigger humanitarian.
I'd say I was both. And we saw both. And now we're seeing certainly more of the jerk part.
Lance Armstrong admitting that we're seeing more of the jerk part. Well, Faizal Khanusa is a young man, sports writer and motivational speaker in his own right, who looked up to Lance Armstrong as he battled non-Hodgkin's lymphoma during his teen years. Joins us now from a studio in Toronto. Thanks for joining us, Faizal. I just got to ask you, what was it like when you first heard that Lance Armstrong was doping? I know friends of mine are fans of his, and they didn't believe it when the rumors came out. But when you heard it from him, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I think it just confirmed what a lot of people already knew. Like you, when I heard it in accusations over the past, years, I didn't want to believe it either. But yesterday, I cringed when I heard him say it, and say it so confidently, almost so nonchalantly, as if this is something I've been hiding for so long. Everybody else was right, and I've been lying to everybody. It just seemed such of a disappointment to me to see him like that. And again, I didn't need that yesterday to really remove my affection towards him. It just confirms what everybody's been saying and what I guess I've been feeling for the last couple months as well.
You looked up to him, though, as you were going through your own treatment.
Absolutely.
So is he forever tarnished in your eyes? You've written recently that we should just stop looking to sports players, athletes, as role models. You had a piece up on the Sportsnet website about that. Are you completely turned off athletes?
You said it. There are some that surprise you, some that go above and beyond to do well for their community, to serve as proper role models. But more often than not, we've just become disappointed with athletes, whether it be through their actions on the eye black on their face, or their DUIs or arrests or robberies. It's too often and too frequent for kids to look up to these players. I always say, like your athletes, love your parents. It's so much easier to find role models in your family and the people that you love than in athletes who, on a whim could change their perception in a second. Like Lance Armstrong was his hero to many, and all of a sudden he's fallen from grace. Michael Vick was a hero to many, and all of a sudden within a day he's fallen from grace as well. It's just so easy to lose track of athletes having this privilege that they lose their minds as well, and often we see the negative light come out in them as well.
Now, I think a lot of it comes down to character, but that's tough to judge from a distance. Because I think that you should enjoy the play of any athlete, but then if you want to hold them up as an example, look to their character. But then again, Manti Te'o, great athlete, by all accounts, was a fine, upstanding man. And those defending him now are just saying, look, he was the perfect mark, and that's why he was the victim of the hoax. As I was saying to Matthew Cause the other day, I don't know which side to believe on this. I'd like to believe that Manti Te'o was there. But if not, that's a major character flaw. And I think that's what it comes down to in the end, is what is the character like? But we can't judge that from afar.
No, we absolutely can. It wouldn't be fair to as well. And that's why I think we should stay away from trying to look at these athletes as role models, because we don't know them fully. We don't know their entirety. We don't know their upbringing. We don't know what it took for them to get to where they are. We just know that they're in the spotlight. They're exposed to, millions of dollars and millions of marketing companies, and of course millions of fans. And as a result, their perceptions, their egos could get a little bit bigger. And we see it. Once you have more exposure to riches, you're often led to do things that you would never have had the opportunity to do, or think of yourself as highly regarded or above the law, for say. But that's not the case, and we've seen it with athletes that have gotten themselves in trouble. But I wouldn't want my kids, whenever I do have them, to look up to athletes. I'd certainly allow them to watch sports and enjoy sports, but as role models, it wouldn't be the case.
What message do you take to the young people when you go out and you're speaking in schools, I understand, and telling them about your struggle? I'm guessing at one point you might have talked to them about Lance Armstrong. What message do you take to them now? Yeah,
the first message I'd ever tell the kids is to believe in yourself first. Before you start looking outside for role models, find that confidence in yourself. Find that belief that no matter what the problems are you're going through, you're going to be able to overcome them. And once you're able to look inside yourself and look deep within yourself to overcome whatever it is you're going through, then start, relating it to other people. But if you're not able to, find that within yourself to push through whatever it is you're going through, there's no sense in looking at someone else, because you're not going to fully believe it. And that's what it was for me. Lance was a great fallback after I told myself I was going to overcome this, very much like he did. But the first step, and this is what I tell the kids, is to believe that you will overcome whatever challenge it is you're going through.
All right, Faizal, thanks for joining us today, and thanks for your message.
Thank you.
thesportsofa.com. Email me your thoughts, byline@sunmedia.ca. More to come.